Coach Dludlu, Coach Shorty. A big round of applause for Coach Shorty, please.
Aloha. Yeah, Mama Ngaleli, Timmy Amaji, that's why I see out here, boy, enjoy.
Hi, picture. Coach, when you look back, I mean, I was in the studio with you for many of these games. When you look back at the Cardiff knockout, are there moments that stick out for you? The moments that you think, wow, what a turnaround, or wow, what a great moment?
I think all the teams are really prepared for this tournament. And you look at the tactical approaches that the teams, the coaches and the players, how much they asserted themselves into the tournament. You look at how the stadium attendances were as well. And I think you can see the transition from the years where we've seen the Culling knockout. It wasn't like cheese and private repair. That's how we got introduced to the Culling. You know, and the transition of it, and I think I was saying earlier to Ms. Green that imagine when it was a Pirates coach and a Chiefs coach that were just brought in voting. And the evolution of it is beautiful. And one another player, because younger players are also coming through playing for the big teams. It's no longer just the senior players that are the Makotas of this, quarters of this team, of this world, the relays of this world, and even players that were rejects. And I'm saying this specifically because when Coach Clayton Larson says a lot of these players that I have in my team were players that were rejected by most of the teams. And esikhathi esiningi mawuthole chance yokuthi uziveze wenza kakhulu bese ungasenzi kahle. But these players said, we have a home, we have class to play for, we'll show up, we'll show off. It wasn't just a cup where, you know, it's the big two that are the Orlando Pirates and Chiefs. Every team that came through showed up and entertained us.
Did you get any of the fucking goals or predictions right? Because wow, my favorite goal prediction.
I'm rapidly, and I am Alex Azami Soweto man predictor, but most of the times it was the performances that I was predicting to say. I can't really give the score, but if you look at a Sundowns Magesi, I knew they were going to lose against Sundowns, but what was certain for me was the type of football that they were going to bring. So, analytically, abobani potential abangafaka ugesi ukuthi kuze amagoli mara ukuthi isikosithini ayibensha.
Ladies and gentlemen, please a round of applause for one of those brains that I enjoy so much in football, the fucking case now when it comes to that. But our special guest is in the building, ladies and gentlemen. Please allow me to welcome. There's a way we're going to do this actually. Go for it. Just now. What year was this? Who remembers? Donkey is 08. I know Bucky was like 16 when he came out. Do you remember? It's so long ago. 98.
Yeah, Bucky wasn't even there. He was just a thought on his dad's mind.
Gee, what a journey, really? 98 was a very long time ago. Are you well?
Very good, as well as can be. Good morning, gentlemen and ladies. Hope you're all good.
Well, Coach, it's good to have you. Before we even get into conversations about, you know, the Carling knockout, the Carling Cup that's coming, I think it's only fair we get, you know, your thoughts on local football. Are you following the PSL? Are you following what we're doing here at home?
Yeah, of course. How can I not follow? Just because I live on the other side of the water, I'm still very much interested in our football because I was a coach for 2 teams here, so it's our local brand, and I want to see our brand succeed and our players do well so that the national team can then, get where they should be, winning African Nations Cups or getting to finals and qualifying for World Cups. So yeah, so I'm very much invested in South African football, even though it's from afar.
And you know this particular trophy and this particular cup well, because when you were still here, 2012, I remember the derby back then, you scored the goal there, you went to penalties, you scored a penalty as well. So this is something that you're very familiar with. It's a cup that you know, you held, you raised, you celebrated.
The Chiefs fans still never forgave me for that. That's why I'm very much hated by Kaiser Chiefs fans. Exactly. So now this cup competition has really close to my heart because it's special, because it's such a unique brand. The Carling Black label, they bring fans to the game, and it's something that we don't see very often in our local football, especially when it comes to league matches, but also the engagement that the fans get to have. They have the power to select players and all-star teams, so that's amazing. And also, they've got this unique opportunity now to vote for when they think their favorite team is going to score. They can win themselves some money in their pockets, which you've never heard of, not anywhere in Europe. Just on a PlayStation or X5 games that you have, when you have your fantasy league teams, then you get to make money by voting, and the Carling Black label is giving the fans a live and direct opportunity in that. So it's amazing and it's unique, and I hope long may it continue because it's really good for South African football.
Coach Shorty and I were talking a little bit earlier about Magesi and the mentality, and you know all too well about champion mentality. I'm a United fan, and way before you came to United, you broke our hearts at United. I remember it all too well in the Champions League when we were lifting it. So you know what it's like to be the underdog, so to speak, and facing a big team. And Magesi, they did exactly that. They went and they said, what is this thing called Magesi? It's in our name, it's who we are. And they went and they did it for Magesi.
No, definitely. I think, and the biggest thing that I've seen when I watched online, like when I watched a little bit of Magesi during the campaign, is the one thing that they showed more than most teams do, and what I and my teammates used to have when we were at Porto, when we played in this big competition, that hunger to succeed. There was that element of hungerness that, no matter what obstacle, no matter how tough it's going to be, you just be present, be in the moment, but you show that hunger, that desire, that nothing is impossible. It's 11 players against 11. Yes, they might be stronger, they might be faster, but if we run harder than them, if we work harder than them, if we show more desire than them, we probably as good or maybe not even better than them. And at the end of the day, it showed through. They showed the hunger, they showed the desire more than the opposition team had, and that's why they were able to go there and win and surprise many people. But I don't know why it's a surprise, because they just showed on that day they had the more hunger than the desire than anybody else, and that's why they were worthy crown champions.
You played your football in Orlando, you know that stadium all too well. You know the energy in that stadium as well. The fans have been going to that stadium. I wonder what the goal element of this competition, which encourages goals, encourages daily goals, what does that do to fans when they're watching? I mean, you've scored many goals there, and you know the energy even around that stadium. What goals are born is one of the innovations that came in this tournament.
It brings excitement, and I think fans want to see good football. They want to see lots of goals. They want to see passion. They want to see players, when they put on that shirt, that they mean, and they know why they put that shirt on, and that's, you know, if fans see that from our players, and then you get all the energy, you get everything you need from a fan that you want on that day. And I know for a fact Orlando never disappoints. Since my time when I was a player at Orlando Pirates, since my time when I was a coach, every single time I go to Orlando Stadium, they make sure that that stadium is jam-packed, and they bring the energy, they bring the Magesi, and that's exactly what they're going to do on the 21st when Magesi do play the Lego All-Star team. They're going to bring the energy, but they're going to fill that stadium. That's a fact.
Are you here on the 21st of December?
I've got front row seat.
Yeah, maybe we'll be back for that. Coach, let's get into that big game now. We've reflected, and it was a great tournament, it was a very successful tournament. You know, the guessing was truly vagat, so Fagi the guess. But let's look forward a little bit. Let's talk about the team that is going to face this Magesi team. The 11 that the champion fans, the South African champion fans, have been voting for.
I think what is incredible is that we normally expect to see the big guns, you know, Chaine leading from start to finish, probably Williams start to finish. But actually they had a run for their money because there's young players that were in there that were leading until late. I think now after the finals, the fans are realizing, no, we still want to see our big guns in the starting lineups. And I think there's a player that is standing out for me, Muko, the coach. Is smiling right now thinking about him because he was in that team. Before we saw him in the Carling Cup team, the 11 last year, we saw him in the TDC. And he's a defender. And I asked, is this a defender? Until I saw him at right back, he was just playing, going up and down, and he's in the team. He's part of the leaders in the team at right back. He's from Orlando Pirates, and we thought maybe he'll be the first team and all of that, but the competition is still a bit stiff there. And you look at Andile McCarthy, he comes in there from Kaizer Chiefs. So this lineup is bombarded by 3 teams, Orlando Pirates, Mamelodi Sundowns, and Kaizer Chiefs.
Sorry, Coach. On the sides is where the screens are. If you ever see what the team looks like, there is the team on the sides there, the screens as well. We put it up for you.
Yeah, when you follow my specs, you are born in pair. You sure no temper are born in pair. We are born a we are born Uzume in Mamafio. But it's those players that are there, and I think when you look at the team, you see about Tusi Obas is there. There's a mix of youngsters and senior players in those teams in positions there. Cross, I think he finds himself in a very incredible moment in his life because he comes from Maritzburg, he comes from Golden Arrows, now he's at Kaizer Chiefs. He's in the line now. So a lot of things are happening for these players, and it's the opportunities that the Carling Knockouts, Black Label Carling Cup is giving, the knockout is giving for these players. And I think it's going to be interesting because in each position, there's 3 players that you find there. Relay is there as a left winger, but there's other left-footed. They are there. So the beauty of it is finding more than 3 players in a position. And you know what's intriguing them are also the genetic makeup of those lineups. The wingers, but we are Pirates. Because it's influenced by what? The formations of Pirates. They play with out-and-out wingers that go to players and all of that. The central midfielders that they've chosen there, Matusi Obas is a sitter and all of that. So it means we want the youngsters to be running there. So it means our champion fans are really championing for these players, and you see, they watch the game, they get to see. And the beauty of it also is that they go into the DDC to say, and they're giving their big guns, and the big guns is the ones that are in the PSL and run for their money with the votes.
Well, I mean, there's been such an injection of youth in our local football. And I'm talking about the big teams. I mean, the 3 that we're seeing here, Orlando Pirates, Kaizer Chiefs, Mamelodi Sundowns, have had a great injection of young players that are playing in their first teams. It's great for South African football going on.
Very much so, because I know here in South Africa we have a tendency to say that when a player reaches 24, 25, hey, that young man, he's no more young, he's in his prime. But that is just the stress and the pressure that comes from coaches. But I think what Carling Black Label they give young players that platform, because the formation, the system, how it works is that young players have to be integrated, which is so amazing, because if you go to normal club football, a coach's job, his neck is on the line. If he plays young players, you give them opportunity, the result don't go your way, the coach have to answer for bad results, not because you've given young players an opportunity for the club status to go up, but then the coach get fired. So I think coaches are more reluctant to give young players an opportunity, but when you come to the Carling Black Label Cup, that is where young players then do get the opportunity to play on a big stage, together with their heroes and top players from each individual club. And now you get a chance to showcase, and when you do well, then clubs do take notice and says, okay, so that platform gave him an opportunity, so now that they can see that the player is ready, and then you get integrated in the club, you know. So I think this competition is remarkable for giving young players that opportunity and that platform, and it saves clubs also blushes, because not introducing young players earlier as well.
I want to now show you, but before we go to the coaches, I just want to hear from you, because both of you are coaches in your own right. How do you, in the very short space of time in which these coaches have got to do, and we saw that it's possible, because Jose Rivera went on to put a team together and win the Carling Cup. What's the first thing you do when you put an all-star team together as a coach? How do you begin to tackle the coach? Say, whether it's the big class, not that big, but the answer.
I think getting their names right first is the first thing, because
getting their names right.
Yeah, getting their names right, because you say, what's your name? Then already you've lost the attention of the player. So getting their names right. So and it's interesting because you're looking at Coach Nabi. He's a translator there, so it means the translator would have to translate the names of the players, all of that. But the modern game gives you that, you know. So get their names right, and it's small things. Get their names right, get the positions right. But already try to find out what are their expectations. Because you can come in as a coach and say, I want to go in there and beat Magesi 10-0, but the players just want to come in there, so find out what is their expectations and bargain with them, because you have a short space of time. Don't come with 3-5-2-4, going like this, left, martial arts. No, don't complicate it. You know, keep it simple. All right, the lights are up. What formations, and now because you still coach Jose had who coached Dludlu as his assistant coach, that is important. He knows the younger players now, because the older coaches, they focus on the PSL, more professional side of things. He knows these younger players. He will tell him, coach, this one is good at 1v1, this one is good at that, this one plays like this. Then you take that information, use it, then it allows you for the players to own what they are going to play for and how they are going to play.
Well, I think you've answered enough. Let's take a look at the coaches' leaders board now. I'm not sure how you feel about that. There it is. Coach Makamamliti of Mamelodi Sundowns is leading 34,056 votes. Not that far though. That margin, trust me, we've seen votes come in the Carling. It could change in an instant. Jose Riviero of Orlando Pirates, who is of course the champion from last season. He is in second place. Coach Nasruddin Nabi in third place there. Then Steve Barker, Daniel Malasela, Dan Dance, Gavin Hunt, Eric Tinkler, and Fawano Siama, Brandon Schutter, and completing the top 10 is Mabuni Kenyezade. Benni?
Some strong names are there though, but I think the top 3 shouldn't surprise anyone, because at the moment, well, the top 2 shouldn't surprise, because their respective clubs are the ones that's gunning for the title, and you know, it's a tug and war, who's first, who's second. So it's really interesting. It's really good. So tactically, I think either of those coaches, if they do make the grade, if they do get the final vote to be the coach here, it will be a massive bonus for the all-star team to be coached by these coaches, because what they're doing at their clubs is remarkable. You know, so they will get the best coaches coaching them in their quest to try and knock Magesi off their perch and stop them from conquering the Carling Black Label champions, winning the Carling Cup. the Carling knockout, and now going for the cup as well.
You got to Man United with a very specific job, you know, with the attackers, with the strikers. We want early goals and we want lots of goals. What is the coach's advice to the many players that want to get the early goals? Because we want the most amount of money. Because remember how it works. The more minutes run, the more money I do. So I want that first 2, 3, 5 minutes, what we saw Rashford score the other day, for instance. I want that early goal in. What is your advice for players, for coaches and for players for that early goal?
I think it's just about putting the opposition team under pressure from the first minute, because everyone, like I said, the game is starting, so everyone is still not really fully into the game. So when you can put the opposition under pressure from the off, you know, and that's probably the best strategy that you can go. So go full out attack from the first minute, and then I think, yeah, you've got more chance of scoring within the first 15 minutes when you do try and go for the jugular straight on. And then after 15 minutes, then you now calm and maintain and manage the game the best possible way you can. But hopefully by then you're 1-0 to the group or 2-0 to the group. So yeah, that would my advice be, like, you know, because I think the fitness, the energy from the players is there, because the league is also very fresh in, so players are not fatigued yet to when you get to the second half of the season. So this time the timing is perfect. So I think players should have the energy, the ability to go out there, but also to make it interesting. If you want to engage and have the fans there, I think both teams should be going for it.
I don't want to finish all the juice, because I do know that you guys will want your one-on-ones a little bit later on. Like I said, we're going to separate the TV crew and the radio crew here, so you will have a conversation with Benni a bit later. Coach, you've seen what that leaderboard looks like. We're normally at the top of that. Sundowns generally not known as a team with a huge fan base. Are you surprised at all that Nabi's third was their second?
Not as much, because I think the fans that are engaging, Kaizer Chiefs fans, they are trying to figure out their coach and all of that, and I'm glad we still see him in the top 3 there. But I think probably if this was happening in March, then it would have been a different story. But for now, I think those are the leading teams, and it's the exciting players that are there as well, because you see with the lineups, with the players that they've chosen, there's quite a number of Chiefs players, so you would see a Chiefs coach at third, and at second being Coach Jose, because he did this last year and he won it with the boys, and fittingly so he's there because also he knows how to coach them. So they are there, and I think Coach Manova, he's given a task to see can he coach a team of players that come from different clubs. Coach Jose has done it. Can he coach players from different clubs, young players and all of that. However, is he going to shout and say, young man, come out? Or is he going to say, okay, let them play? Because this is a sportainment as well. We want the entertainment, we want functionality, we want to see.
So what
Yeah, because remember last season, that's South African football, that's play. You know, so probably his word there would be, but as far as maybe that would be his conversation, because you want to keep the South African way of doing things. Benni said it. It's knowing the world where they tell you, you score a goal, your fans get money. You get a minimum of 100,000. Hello, hi, how are you doing?
And we're looking at if Chibazeze can beat Ekra Brainers. At the moment, it's 400-400.
Yeah.
If he wins it in the final, then he'll be the most with 500,000. Yeah! I remember when I started somebody won that lot of money. And apparently he shared it with the team. I don't know. Maybe.
I just changed my friend. Those money go into players' pockets. There's no more team spirit. End of the match, one man.
Ladies and gentlemen, please a big round of applause. Coach Shorty and Benni McCarthy.